Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Mike Benitez. Today we're going to do another ship bios video. Now today we're going to start a series of ship bios videos about the ships involved in Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. And the first ship is the battleship that was named after the country I am in right now, the USS Pennsylvania. Let's begin the story. Pennsylvania was the first ship of the Pennsylvania class of battleships, which included herself and her sister, USS Arizona. The both ships would be in Pearl Harbor on that day. The Arizona would be a total loss. Construction began on Pennsylvania in 1913, and she was commissioned in 1916. Upon commissioning, Pennsylvania was named the flagship of the commander-in-chief of the commander-in-chief of the Atlantic Fleet. However, since Pennsylvania ran on oil and not coal, there was not enough fuel for her to make it to the British Grand Fleet, and so she would have to stay in the Atlantic Fleet. However, President Wilson awarded honors aboard her, and she was the flagship until the end of World War I. From 1919 to 1920, she would embark on several president voyages to bring several presidents to their destinations, and firing a 21st gun salute, and also was part of escort duties and practices. Here we see Pennsylvania during a visit to Australia in 1925. And here are Pennsylvania's after 14-inch turrets early in her career. And here's an aerial view of Pennsylvania. In 1929, Pennsylvania went into modernization. She was turned from this to this. Now, as you can see, there are many differences, judging that she only has one mast, but soon she would be part of the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. During the attack on Pearl Harbor, Pennsylvania was one of the early ships to get her anti-aircraft guns into action, and was able to shot down a couple of planes. But she herself was damaged in the attack. Several of her crew were wiped out when a bomb hit aft on her boat deck on her starboard side and exploded, killing 15 men. Judging because the ship was in dry dock at the time, the USS Cassine and Downs were right in front of her, and they too were heavily damaged. You see here, actually, one of the Downs torpedo tubes was sent flying into the mast of of the Pennsylvania. Luckily, only one bomb ever hit the Pennsylvania. Her sister ship Arizona, however, well, that was a different story. Amazingly, only 38 people were wounded and 15 dead and 14 missing. Until from the 29th of December 1941 to the 30th of March 1942, Pennsylvania was under repairs. Now she was back in the service and ready to avenge her lost sister. During World War II, the Pennsylvania would receive a nickname she would have until the end of her life, the Pensy. The Pensy was one of the easy ships to repair after Pearl Harbor and was back in action, ready to avenge her sister and the other ships lost in Pearl Harbor. It was time for her revenge. Throughout 1942, Pennsylvania was the place of brief conferences with Chief Admiral Nimitz, and also on August 1st, 1942, she was sent to San Francisco for a major refit, enhancing her anti-aircraft guns in case she was ever be attacked by Japanese bombers. In 1943, Pennsylvania was sent to Alaska to be part of the Aleutian Campaign. The Pensy was also used in the assault on Makin Atoll on the Gilbert Islands. Here we see a colored picture of Pennsylvania in dry dock in the Pacific in 1944. And here's an historic picture of the Pennsylvania leading Colorado, Louisville, Portland, and Colombia into the Lingayen Gulf in the Philippines of January 1945. Pennsylvania was one of the six battleships that, five of them were in Pearl Harbor, but one of the six battleships that were in the Battle of the Sarajevo Strait during the Battle of the Leyte Gulf. She sank numerous Japanese ships, and this was her revenge for the Japanese sinking her sister USS Arizona. However, after World War II, after serving in both World Wars, Pennsylvania was at the end of her run. The infamous Pensy was just about to meet the end that the Prince Eugen suffered, and that was Operation Crossroads. Here we see USS Pennsylvania, the Pensy, sinking of Kwajalein Atoll in February 10th of 1948. And here is the last picture of the great ship before she slipped beneath the waves due to her radioactive injuries. Pretty much, Pennsylvania made headlines to be the first ship scuttled by the U.S. Navy, as seen in page 1 of the newspaper about the ship sinking. Here is the World War II milestone by USS Pennsylvania, and trust me, that's a lot. And here's the ammunition expended by USS Pennsylvania at enemies. Now, trust me, that's a lot. And here's the armament for the great ship. And here are the awards received by USS Pennsylvania. And here is a USS Pennsylvania BB-38 Navy unit commendation of people that were on Pennsylvania. Now, as you can see, Pennsylvania was pretty darn famous. Now, I can't read all that, but if you guys can read it, I'll show this here for a second. Then I have to go on to the next one. And yeah, I think that's good. And here is one of the many guns of Pennsylvania at Dahlgren, Virginia. Thank you guys for hearing the brave story of the USS Pennsylvania. In the next video, we'll be talking about her sister ship and the ship that had so many lives lost in Pearl Harbor that was the most out of the attack, the USS Arizona, featuring an actual footage of the explosion. Thank you guys for joining this video. This is Mike Benitez signing out on my favorite ship in the Pearl Harbor attack, the USS Pennsylvania, nicknamed the Pensy. Have a nice day, everyone. This is Mike Benitez signing off. See you later.